it hurts. And I'm too sexy for Milan, too sexy for Milan, New York and Japan.
Welcome back, everybody, this week to Doing It with Styles. And as you all know, or those who watch me on a regular basis, know what a movie buff I am. I love movies. I love old movies, new movies, you name it, I like it. And I have some special guests today, and it is Chris and Denise from Ocean Avenue Entertainment. And they are the distributors of a new film. Well, actually, it's a re-release of a film that came out a couple of years ago, just prior to the pandemic, right?
Yeah, actually, before that, yes.
Yeah, and it's called The Way, and it stars Emilio Estevez and Martin Sheen. And I don't want to talk too much about it because I want people to watch it. It was a father-son story about a journey and an experience of the people that are met along the way. And is that kind of a halfway decent synopsis?
Yeah, I think so. You know, it really was Emilio's, he wanted to write a story that would be for his dad.
Yeah.
And so when he came up with the idea for the story, he loved the setting of the Camino de Santiago, which is the pilgrimage that a lot of people are doing right now.
Right.
Which is a 500-mile pilgrimage that you do through Spain to get to Santiago as your final destination.
Right.
So he came up with this story, which is, you know, a fictional story based on a man who is, you know, older and about to retire. He's done really well. And, you know, he's a kind of a nominal Catholic, I guess you would say. He goes on Easter. That's about it. And he gets a phone call and finds out that his son, who is a traveler, has passed away. And he goes to recover his body and to Spain. And when he gets to Spain, he realizes and finds out that his son was about to go on this pilgrimage. And so he has this moment where he decides, I think I'm going to complete the journey. So he takes his son's backpack and he goes on this journey, and it's a long journey. And along the way, he gets, you know, various people that he kind of becomes a father to them, and they sensitize him to his own, you know, need for community.
Right.
And it's just a beautiful story of really someone who has a transformational experience on this road.
It was extremely well written. I thought there's a lot of feeling in that movie. You know, it's you can't help but be touched by the whole concept and what Martin Sheen was going through along the way, and some of the awakenings that he had within himself. I honestly believe it's probably well, besides Apocalypse Now, one of the best things he's ever done. It was and as a father himself, you could see, or I could see, you know, what he was going through there. So
yeah, it's really, you know, he has said that Martin Sheen has said that this is the most important movie he's ever made, which is,
I believe,
quite quite a statement given all the movies he has made, including Apocalypse Now.
Right, especially from somebody like him, you know. So
yes.
What made you want to redistribute this film? What was it about this film that you just said, you know, we got to get this back out there?
Well, our company releases movies that are, you know, inspiring or based on true stories, things like that. And we, every now and then, I'll look and see that there's a movie that just isn't available anymore. You can't find it anywhere. It's not streaming anywhere. And I've learned that in those cases, a lot of times, those movies have gotten stuck either with a distributor that went bankrupt or something happened. So I didn't know Emilio at all, but I knew he had the rights to this movie. And so when I reached out to him, I said, I think your movie is probably stuck in a bankruptcy, and I'm familiar with the company. And I wanted to know if I could help get the rights back. And that was over 2 years ago now. And long story short, we did help him get the rights back to his movie, which is really
Nice.
kind of, it was a painful subject for him, because when you have something that's really your baby and you lose it the way he did, if through no fault of his own, right?
Yeah.
And then you get it back, it's just such a great feeling. And then when we decided to, we could have just, as a company, what we normally do, we'll get it, maybe go back on get it back on Netflix or Amazon Prime, these places. But we really felt like there was the type of movie it is, and after COVID, it's the type of movie where I think people would really enjoy it for one night in the theaters. So that's why we went to Fathom, and Fathom does these one-night events, which is May 16th. And we've, already had a lot of response from people that are buying tickets to go and watch it in the theater as a community, right? Because it's really a movie about community.
Yes. Well, I was amazed actually at how many theaters it's going to be shown in. And I mean, within 5 or 6 minutes of my house in Las Vegas, it's showing in 3 theaters.
Oh, that's great.
So, it was just like, whoa, that's you did good, Chris. Nice job. So that's Emilio Estevez is probably going to be, he probably owes you a lot right now.
Oh, well, he's, it's been fun getting to know him a little bit. We were able to be with them, both Emilio and then also his father and his and mom.
Right.
And Martin Sheen and his mom, they've been married for over 60 years.
I know.
Which in Hollywood, that's like kind of amazing, right?
And anywhere today, that's amazing, right?
Yeah. So, maybe you talk a little bit about what we did when we were in Seattle. So we, in these movies, I'll just explain this part. There's an opportunity to discuss the movie a little bit. And so after the movie, there's about a 20-minute discussion. And I don't know if you're familiar with Rick Steves. He has the travel show that's on PBS for years and years.
I know who he is, yes.
Okay, well, Rick Steves is going to be discussing with Martin and with Emilio kind of how the road as church, as he says, and just the impact of how we can expand, our hearts and our minds when we go and travel, and that this movie just plays into that. So it's a really beautiful conversation that they had that will also be the first time anybody's will be able to watch it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's what you get when you go to a Fathom event specifically. It's just one night, and you get this bonus feature. And so the bonus is, it's a 20-minute conversation that Martin Sheen, Emilio Estevez, and Rick Steves have that we filmed in Edmonds, Washington, where Rick Steves hails from. And it's a wonderful conversation because Rick Steves, with his travel experience, and of course, this family with their very extensive travel experience as well, they talk about life and travel and food, and they get into spirituality a little bit. They get into, just kind of real life conversation, and it's fun and it's fascinating, and it was fun to watch this being filmed, kind of being flies on the wall, because people, just the townspeople, would come up and see these 3 people that they've known and loved for years, and go, what am I seeing right now? Because they couldn't believe these 3 people are together. So it's kind of exciting, and this is the bonus feature that happens after the film for the Fathom event on the 16th.
Now, is this feature recorded, or does it stream live to the theaters?
Yeah, it's recorded. Okay. And so we did it about a month ago, and it was just it was a fun experience. And then were able to have dinner afterwards and and get to know them a little bit better, and really just the Emilio, I mean, Martin Sheen's wife, she is, she's just got so much story to her that nobody knows that part. She was really quite an amazing mom.
Yeah.
And she is a mom to all, to these quite famous, people. You know, it's not just Emilio, but of course it's Charlie Sheen.
Sure.
They have a sister too. And what's really amazing is that they all live within a block or two of each other in Malibu. And that's
Really?
the way they've been for over, I don't know, 30 years. So
Wow.
they're really a tight-knit family.
Nice.
Do they
Well,
want to go up on that?
Hey, I think
Sure.
I think they've talked about it.
Okay.
The what you mentioned about the travel, to me, I think that's extremely important. And I think that we, as human beings and as people, those people who don't have the opportunity to travel or the desire to travel are missing out on so much. You know, I've been lucky enough in my life to have been in different parts of the world, and I had the opportunity to go to the UK a few years back, and to go to some of these places where you read about in history class in school, and you know, to stand in the same spot that Henry VIII did, and to see the tomb or the burial place of Mary, Queen of Scots, or when I was stationed in Japan, the YMCA, the local Japanese YMCA, sponsored a tour of all of these old shogun castles that were like thousands of years old, 2,000-3,000 years, and to go there and, you know, realize that all of the stuff that we learned about is real. It happened to real people, and no matter where you go in the world, you know, we all want the same thing for our families, to be safe and to, you know, just have a good life and all that stuff. And so I think that you know, when kids turn about 12 or 13 years old, we ought to yank them out of school and then just take them all over the world. You know,
Yes.
all kids, and you know, I mean, bring them here. And that was the idea behind the foreign exchange students years ago, is to get that exposure of different cultures and understanding. So anyway,
Yes,
that's all for my soapbox.
Well, they do, you know, John, to that point, exactly. They talk about that. I'm not exactly sure what got put in the bonus features, but that very point was a big part of that conversation.
Yeah.
Exactly
Well,
what you said.
You know, I have to go watch it now, so
Yes.
just for the bonus features, you know.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, a lot of theaters have it's always been 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock,
Right.
no matter where you are in the country. But they just added, for most theaters, not all of them, I don't think, but most theaters added a 4 o'clock.
Really?
So that people, yes, people who, you know, who want an earlier showtime, they just added that 4 o'clock showtime.
So that won't be in all the theaters, but in certain theaters,
Right.
so you can check it out. And
I'll check it
probably
out.
won't be reflected for at least a few more days. But that's
because that's the problem that I run into, is that I don't have any real set hours at the studio. I mean, I have certain shows that shoot every day at different times, but it's so difficult for me to get to go anywhere or do anything. So a 4 o'clock show on the 16th would be perfect. So
good.
And if they're not offering it, I'll go beat on their door and make them offer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you could probably talk to the manager.
Yeah, just say, hey, you can do this.
And I mean, they should get a pretty good turnout anyway. Fathom usually gets a you know, quite an audience, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. So
Yes.
So what how did you get into this business? That's what I wanted to know.
Well, we, you know, years ago I used to produce documentaries, and out of my own, I think, frustration with not finding good distribution, we felt like, you know, there's a need there. And so a number of years ago, I kind of like set out to figure out the distribution side of things, and really more, you know, how do you take these movies and get them out there for a lot of people to see?
Right.
So that's really been our focus. And then Denise works with me, and she helps me pick some of these movies that we're not sure. Is this a movie we think will be successful? Is it something that we believe in? And a lot of times she comes from the perspective of, you know, the female side of things and what her perspective is. So it's really been a great collaboration to kind of find these movies And then you get them out there to all these different platforms. I mean, it's it's amazing. There's Netflix, which we've worked with for almost 14 years now, and we bring them movies. They don't always say we're going to take that movie, but a lot of times they do.
Right.
And then there's Amazon Prime and Tubi TV and all these different Pluto. I mean, it's amazing.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And which of those platforms have you found it the easiest to work with without screwing up your business?
I would say probably Amazon Prime has been the easiest.
I'm going to have to agree with you because people don't realize what a large independent film community there is here in Las Vegas. And I know a lot of independent filmmakers here have gotten their stuff on Amazon Prime. And so I kind of assumed that, well, they must be halfway decent or pretty easy to work with for the most part.
Yes.
Because these guys don't have a lot of money and they, so anyway. Yeah.
And I think as far as, Netflix is still kind of the big one.
Right.
And so in that sense, we do continue to bring movies to them that they say yes to. But it's it's different than it used to be years ago because Netflix produces so much of their own content.
Right. Yeah.
They don't necessarily need a lot of new content.
And like I said earlier, I have a Roku channel, and little guys like me, we're dealt with differently. In other words, I have to have a third party to upload my content to that Roku then pulls from. There's like Wasabi and all of that. And I found a guy up in Northern California, up in the Bay Area, who is one of those third parties. And I love working with him because if there's an issue or a problem or a question, I can pick up the phone and I can talk to somebody. Like all of the others, you send them an email, tell them what's wrong or tell them what the issue is. 3 or 4 days later, you'll get another email back. And Sean just, oh, yeah, hey, John, I'll take care of it. Bam, bam, bam. Wow. And he approached me about 3 months ago now, and he said, John, that Roku is starting to look for smaller original content providers. They want to expand that portion of their business. And so he said, send me three of your shows with little synopsis about each one of them. And, they asked him to, send a few in. So we're waiting to hear back and see if we may partner up with them. They will provide us with advertisers that we'll then split the revenue with and things like that. So I got my fingers crossed because I sent them three really good shows.
It's amazing, John, because this is something that, was kind of unheard of 10 years ago.
Oh, I could not do 10 years ago. I could not do what I'm doing today. I mean, I got a great little studio. It's only 1,500 square feet. And I got all the equipment. I got the Black Magic switchers and all the bells and whistles and stuff like that. That 10 years ago would have cost me a couple $100,000. And I was too stupid to know that I couldn't do what I'm doing, And I spent a lot of time on YouTube training videos and how to make this work and how to make that work. But it was something that, I get to meet such awesome people, on a regular basis. And it's just, it's something that I enjoy. And it's something that I do, like I said, keeps me out of the bars and the strip clubs and the casinos, and it's like I kind of feel like I'm giving back a little bit, and it's just it's fun. So
that's great.
Yeah, because I always say when it stops being fun, stop doing it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So what else would you like people to know about Ocean Avenue Entertainment?
So Ocean Avenue is actually, it's really a boutique distributing company. Chris does such an amazing job of really helping producers kind of walk through the journey. There's, he's met producers at different stages, you know, sometimes even at just the seed of the idea all the way through, you know, the finished product. And we generally just pick up what's finished.
Right.
But to help them, if they need to finalize their project, to, you know, sometimes it's not a fit for Ocean Avenue,
Right.
but he can still help kind of guide them. Sometimes he comes on as a consultant, you know, sometimes he just comes on as, here, I can just, you know, give you whatever time I have to just help guide you in making your choices and where you can take your project. And, you know, sometimes, you know, like The Way, that's already had a theatrical run, the
Right.
limited, to, you know, to re-releasing. He's done that with several producers, and it's really had some good fruit come from that. And sometimes it's just brand new producers and kind of showing them the way, no pun
Right.
intended, of this, you know, of the industry and how to do this. But, you know, his heart is really to help producers, generally low budget, independent films that have some kind of a redeeming message.
That's awesome. How can people get a hold of you?
Help people. Are you frozen? Oh, I thought you were frozen.
Oh, no, you were frozen first. But we got most of the sound up.
We're unfrozen.
Yeah. So it's saying my internet connection is unstable. So
Oh, there you go.
Just like me. So do you have is there a certain genre of film that you look for, or are you open to pretty much anything? Or
you know, the genres usually tend to be drama,
okay,
as far as a broad genre,
right?
Or romantic. Sometimes he'll get like romantic comedies.
Gotcha.
You did
sports dramas
To End All Wars. That's really out of.
So there's a movie.
Documentaries.
There's a movie called To End All Wars with Kiefer Sutherland, and it's based on. It's really the true bridge over the River Kwai story.
Okay.
And it's a powerful film.
You'd like it, John.
So, you know, and sometimes they're R-rated like that one because of wartime violence.
Right.
And others are, you know, we have another one called 7 Days in Utopia with Robert Duvall that people absolutely love.
Right? I love Robert Duvall. He's so cool.
I know.
Yeah.
He's such a good actor.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it's not always that we get these movies that have really, really well-known, you know, stars. And so when we do, it's awesome. But you know, it's movies like that. Anything that would be based on a true story. We have a lot of sports dramas. There are a couple back here that you might
see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So those have been very, you know, it's anything it's really uplifting. So I would say the takeaway would be this: if you watch the movie, you're going to feel a lot better than you did before you watched it.
Okay.
That's the criteria.
So feel good movies.
Yes, feel good movies.
I like that. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but have you ever had that experience where you watch something and afterwards you're like, how in the world, why did I ever watch that movie? And you have to watch something else just to get out of your brain.
But here's my problem. I love little independent films, you know, like off the wall stuff that never really gets out there, or and some of it's real crap. You know,
you don't know. But
every once in a while, you find that jewel. You know that you just it's you know, it's just like, wow, where did that come from? Why didn't this, you know, become a big blockbuster? So and that's the excitement, that's the passion, that's the love of films that
Okay, so I have a recommendation for you.
Please.
It's a film, and you can watch it on Amazon Prime. Because
I got Prime.
Amazon Prime. So it's called Not That Funny.
Not That Funny.
It's a romantic comedy. It's a very small little film, but it's a charming film.
I may have seen that.
You may have. I mean, if you're into those kind of movies, you might have seen it.
Yeah, but I will go check it out.
Tony Hale. Tony Hale is the lead actor.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know, he was from all kinds of things. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good little movie. Now, again, some people aren't into independent movies, and they'll be
Right.
like, "Where's the action?"
Yeah.
But it's that kind of movie.
Well,
So the way
and that's it.
Yeah.
So many movies today, there's no story, there's no plot, there's no character development, there's no you know, it's just you know, special effects and explosions and car chases and gunfights, and you know, and that's it. I like a little more substance to the film.
Me too.
You know?
We just made the mistake of watching Murder Mystery 2 on Netflix, which we liked the first one with Jennifer Aniston and
Yes.
and Adam Sandler. The second one was just like, oh my gosh, enough already. It was just
I know.
non-stop
I watched
action.
it myself.
Oh.
There was another one that that I just saw with Pete Davidson and Katie Falco from The Big Bang.
Okay.
And it was about it was about a date, like a blind date, that was one of those, when the ending finally came, it was like, whoa. I didn't, you know, it wasn't it's I'll find the film and I'll email you the title.
Good.
So
Good.
but yeah, it was just one of those little kind of, you know, like almost just a 2-person film, like, so cool.
Sure.
Puppy in the background there.
Oh, hey, yeah, that's a little doggy.
Yeah.
So yeah, the way is very much like that. It's very independent. And when you see the comments of people who have seen this film, there is something kind of like what you said, John. There's something that really resonates with people, like no matter their walk in life, whether, you know, they can be, you know, politically conservative or politically liberal, you know, spiritually, the same thing, you know, this movie just resonates with people, and the comments are really off the charts. How personal the movie is, how people like watching it over and over. And one of the reasons why Fathom even took the movie is because they don't just take any movie. It has to be for a special event usually.
Right.
But this movie, because it was in bankruptcy, because of all the problems that this poor little movie had, that was a victim of, really, it hadn't gotten out there. And so there was this built up demand. People wanted to see the movie. And so Fathom thought, well, let's give the people what they want.
Yeah.
And so that's how we even got the opportunity to do the Fathom event.
Yeah.
Nice
you
job.
know, the thing about the comments too that really struck me, because we have some movies that are very powerful and inspiring, but when a movie literally inspires you to walk a 500-mile Camino experience, and you
after flying to another country.
yeah, you fly there, you spend 2 months doing that, and then you come back, you are a changed person.
Absolutely.
You are really changed. So
if you're not, you better seek help.
Yes, I know.
So anything else that we can discuss? So basically, the films that you distribute, they go someplace else. So if I wanted to see all of the films that you've distributed, I'd probably have to go to a couple different places, right?
True. I mean, Amazon Prime has a lot of them.
Okay.
There are a few on Netflix. But yeah, for the most part, you can find them on various platforms.
Okay.
And even YouTube. We're starting to put some of our movies up on YouTube, on our YouTube channel.
Right.
And you know, it's amazing. There are a lot of big movies up on YouTube now that are, you know, where they have the ads, and a lot of people, you know, they don't want to have subscriptions to other things, and they'll watch a movie that has commercials. So yeah, it's amazing how many places you can watch some of these movies.
Well, I will make this offer. I have a Roku channel, and if you guys have any films that you would like to get out there, I'm happy to set you up your own section on our Roku channel.
Okay.
I'm not, you know, you're not going to really get anything out of it other than eyeballs at this point, you know. But you know, and one I've been working on an idea for the independent filmmakers here in Las Vegas, that most of them will do a 5 or 10 minute short film when they're first getting started. And so I want to create a platform on our Roku channel for those little short films.
That's
and
great.
To give them a place where they can, you know, show their work and get it out there so people can see it. And I have one guy who does horror films, nothing but horror films. So I'm going to give him a section called Scary Little Shorts.
That's good.
And but you know, it's like I'm amazed at how people will come together to help each other out when you least expect it.
Yes.
And you know, we need that right now. You know, we need that more than anything right now. So
Right.
Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Hey, I like it. Well, we really appreciate, you know.
Do you have a website?
Yes, you can just go to Ocean Avenue Entertainment.
Okay, now is Avenue abbreviated AVE or is it spelled out?
The whole thing. So it's a
Okay.
little long, but Ocean Avenue
No.
Entertainment.com.
.com. Okay, and we'll put that up on the screen for you. So and there they could go. So if somebody wants to, maybe they're working on a film and they're looking for a distributor or something like that, they can contact you there.
They can contact us.
Great.
For sure. Yes.
All right. And if they tell them that if they tell you that they saw it on WWDB TV, you'll give them a free coaster or something, you know.
Yes. We'll figure something out.
All right, guys. So anything else that you want to cover before we wrap this up? I want to make sure that this
just want to thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
listen,
for getting me on.
anytime. That's why this platform exists, is for things like this. And so
Really
anytime you've
appreciate
got something that you want to put out there, or, you know, something that you want to get out to the public, just give me a holler. I'm happy to do it. You know, if you've got little trailers that you want to share or something like that, that's why we're here. So
awesome. Thanks, John.
Anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
All right.
Thank you.
Good.
So, and I'd like to thank all of you for watching us again this week and the support that we get from you, from our viewers on the station. And remember, if you're going to do it with styles.
You should fly with me. Come on, a father-son trip. It'll be fun.
Yeah, right.
You know, most people don't have the luxury of just picking up and leaving it all behind, Daniel. We agreed that if I let you take me to the airport, you wouldn't lecture me about how I'm ruining my life.
I lied.
Hello.
Are you the father of Daniel Avery?
He was walking the road to Santiago de Compostela, 800 kilometers on the northwestern coast of Spain. This is everything he had when we found him. People have walked the path for over 1,000 years. The way is a very personal journey, Mr. Avery.
Daniel was my only child. We're gonna walk the Camino to Santiago, both of us.
Tom, this is the way.
Hi, I'm Joost. There's no mystery why I'm doing this trick. Oh, look at cheesemakers. Hold out. Hey, don't wait. Yeah, you should try some.
No, thanks.
Stop! Come with me! Right, I'm from Amsterdam.
That's, huh?
What are you looking to score?
I love this guy.
It wears off quick, I promise you.
Hello, I'm Jack from Ireland.
How long have you been out here?
From the Camino or on this particular spot?
You pick?
Well, geez, it's hard to say.
So what is it, on pilgrimage to change your life?
Something like that.
Dead box with the ashes.
My son.
That's brilliant. I mean, tragic, of course, but brilliant. Oh, no!
Tom, your son. I am so sorry. I had no idea.
My son was almost 40.
Yeah, but he'll always be your baby.
What was your son like?
Smart, confident, stubborn. Pissed me off a lot. Was a lot like you. Hey, that kid took my bag. Hey! Hey! You can keep the pack! Just give me the box! You don't choose a life, Dad. You live one.
But you can do this on a bike? Why the hell are we walking?